Good afternoon to everyone. I'm really happy there's so many people here because it won't be the typical tech talk. This is the talk about the AI and how much intelligence in the artificial intelligence we can find. My name is Slawomir Procelewski. I'm working for the company Datev in Nuremberg. And before we start our talk about AI in general and ChatGPT in particular, I'd like to say a few words about my company. So, Datev is an IT community for the tax advisors, auditors, lawyers, and the clients. We are also one of the largest European IT service providers. In Germany, we have over 8,000 employees, both in the software development and in customer service. With over 500,000 customers, Datev is one of the most recognized brands in Germany. These of you who already have been to Germany probably met the green Datev logo at every big German railway station. So, we are the Datev, and we are also present in other European markets. We have very strong presence in Austria and Czech Republic, and also here in Poland. We have sold the software suite Symphonia for several years after our brand. To address the challenges of today, we have decided to strengthen our position in Central Europe by establishing developer teams in the neighbor countries. So, this way we are planning to create a team of experienced developers in Warsaw. More about it in our stand. We are welcome you to visit us, and of course, we have a goodies. So now, let us go back to the mother of this session, ChatGPT. Yeah. Imagine a world where the machines can not only understand our words, but also engage us in the meaningful conversations, providing assistance, knowledge, and even creative ideas. And exactly this is the world we find ourselves in today. And at the heart of this world lies the new technology, ChatGPT. To truly understand the significance of this technology, it's essential to understand the transformative power of the deep learning and natural language processing what lies behind. Through extensive training on the vast amounts of data, it has acquired the ability to generate human-like responses, making it a great tool for communication and for the problem solving. But what it makes truly remarkable is its potential to revolutionize diverse industries and sectors across the board. From customer service to healthcare, from education to journalism, and even creative endeavors, it has the capacity to augment the human capabilities and streamline the processes in the ways we couldn't have imagined just a few years ago. So, what is really exactly the ChatGPT? I will say you what it isn't. It isn't the Skynet. The ChatGPT is just a language model, powerful, but only the language model, nothing more and nothing less. We can say it represents the significant leap forward in the field of natural language processing and artificial intelligence, and nothing more. So, do you know this technology has only 2 years? It was in July 21 when it made its initial debut. But it was the end of 22 when we all heard about it, when it truly took the world by the storm with its release. And when I say by the storm, I really mean by the storm. So, as you can see, ChatGPT needed 5 days to get the 1 billion of the users. When it compared to Instagram or to Spotify, you see, 75 days for Instagram and almost half a year for the Spotify to reach this milestone. Reddit, we all know Reddit. Reddit, in 7 days, the amount of subscribers of ChatGPT exploded from 0 to 12,000. Now, I have checked it yesterday, there are almost 2 million of subscribers of this channel. ChatGPT has been able to generate a human-like text, and while keeping the context, enabling it to engage in the conversation. Today, we don't compare Alexa to Siri anymore. We are just looking for the ways to integrate the both with the ChatGPT. Another example, do you remember in Apple, there is an app for this? Today, we don't ask if there is an app for this. Today, we ask if there is a ChatGPT plugin to solve some problem. So, now the technical part, how the ChatGPT operates. If we say about the artificial intelligence, then we think, okay, that must be neural network behind this. And this is also the case of ChatGPT. There is a neural network for this, but a special neural network. It is called transformed neural network. What is the difference between transformed and the standard neural network? The classical neural networks work in the linear way. They have some input layer, they have some hidden layer, and then generate some output. And the output of one layer is always the input for another layer. The ChatGPT model works a bit different. So, unlike the classical neural networks, the transformer network use the output as the input to the same layer. So it's some kind of the cyclical neural network. It's nothing new, but with usage of this technology, the ChatGPT allowed the really powerful processing of the text and modeling the relationship between words and tokens in the sequence. One of the primary benefits of this technology is the so-called self-attention mechanism. In the self-attention mechanism, the neural network is able to capture long-range dependencies in the text. In the classical networks, the information flow is typically limited by the sequential nature of the recurrent layer. But the self-attention mechanism in transformer architecture enables a direct connection between any two positions in the input sequence. Furthermore, these transformers include the concept of multi-head attention. In multi-head attention, the transformer can attend different parts of the input simultaneously. Last but not least, we have another part, the positional encoder. The positional encoder, we need to address the lack of the inherent positional information in the structure. The models which are behind the ChatGPT and other large language models based on the back of the words. These are the unordered set of the tokens. And with the positional encoding, we have the possibility to inject sequential information, allowing this model to understand the order and the relative position of the tokens. ChatGPT, as the other large language models, learn from vast amount of pre-training data. And this can include diverse range of the text from the internet, from the books, from the scientific articles or various other sources. And by analyzing this information, ChatGPT in particular developed a comprehensive understanding of language patterns, grammar, semantics, and even cultural nuances, and what is important, in several languages. So you can ask the question to ChatGPT in English, in Spanish, in German, even in Polish, and you get an answer in the same language. But be aware of one thing. Although ChatGPT worked from internet, it's an offline model. That means it doesn't contain any information about the current world. And it's not updated with this information. And the state of the knowledge of the ChatGPT is momentan 2021. At the end, we have the fine-tuning process where the model is honed to excel in specific tasks or domains. So, for example, we can use it in customer service. The ChatGPT can be used to develop chatbots that provide instant and accurate responses to customer queries. We have also the possibility to integrate this chatbot in the company intranet for the crawling of the company data and provide better search possibilities in the company network. We can use the chatbot in healthcare. It can assist in triaging patients' symptoms, providing diagnosis, and offering general medical advices. One can say nothing more. We have the Dr. Google today, and we can ask Dr. Google, I have headache. The difference between Dr. Google and Dr. GPT is that the Dr. GPT understands the context. So I have the headache every morning after I had the party yesterday. What is the reason? Yeah. We can also use the artificial intelligence and large language models in content generations for writers, for marketers, for content creators, and so on. You have probably heard about the Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is an add-in for Microsoft Office, which should come this year and should allow context-based creation of the content in Microsoft Office. You can say, I need the Excel chart from this data, which looks like so and so. Or you can say, I need the PowerPoint presentation about the AI and ChatGPT. But this presentation has been made with the assistance of AI, but by the human. So, AI at Datev. We are also using the AI in our products. I must say, many companies prohibit the in-house usage of AI. I would give you a few examples in the next, but not Datev. We are running several different AI projects, and some of them have been already finished. They are not spectacular like ChatGPT, but for example, we have finished the project of Intelligent Service Agent. This is a small application which runs on the machines of our customers, and it allows the automatic diagnosis and correction of the system state. Based on the information gathered from the system and actual state of the central service database, it can predict if computer of the customer is affected by potential problems, which we have found, and can proactively suggest some changes to the actual user. We at Datev are working with many documents, and also working with these documents become more comfortable with the help of AI methods. So for example, with Smart Document Inbox, we are able not only to recognize the data in the document, but also the document type. Is this an invoice? Is this something more? Is this a regular document? We can scan it and we can store it in the right bucket in our software. We unleashed also this methodology in the tax automation scenarios, in the product which are very good known on the German market, like Klartax, like Meine Steuern. And here we are able not only to recognize the data from PDF documents, but also for scanned invoices and bills. Yeah. Germans are very proud of the Made in Germany branded products. And one of them arises also in the area of artificial intelligence. So Daylog AI is a cross-company language assistance platform, and Datev collaborates, of course, on setting it up. Another area which we are extensively investigate and we are trying to define the rules to use it safely is an AI-assisted development. Yeah. AI-assisted development can bring immense potential and efficiency to the software development process. However, in media, we don't hear much about how AI helped to lose some problems, how AI to help the fast development in crucial areas. But instead of this, we see many information about different bands. So, ChatGPT banned at school. ChatGPT is not allowed at Samsung. ChatGPT has been disabled by Apple. Apart from the schools, I'd like to share some rules about the effective use of the AI assistants in everyday work. So, the rule number 1, or better I should say, the rule number 0, don't put the company confidential data in the external chatbot. You can say it's clear, but probably it was not clear for the Samsung coworkers, which have put the confidential processor plans in the chatbot to optimize it, or to ask whether they can optimize it. This was exactly the reason why the AI has been banned by Samsung. You must be also careful with the company data, and you must know what are the confidential data. Another example. You write the letter to the customer, and you wanted the chatbot to optimize the letter. Of course, you can put the letter in the chatbot. You can optimize it. But don't put the data of the customer. Don't say, "Dear Mr. Kowalski." You can say, "Dear Mr. XXX." This is no difference for the chatbot, but in this way, you don't put the confidential data about the client and problems with these clients. Many of you maybe are not aware of this, but you work every day with the confidential data in the company. This is the source code. You can optimize the source code in the chatbot, but don't put them in don't put the actual source code in the chatbot. And please change it. I have told you the chatbots are the offline media. They don't get the new data from the internet, but they use the input to optimize the answers. So, if you put the data in the chatbot, first they are stored and they are visible for the company which cares about the chatbot, and they can also be used in the modeling of the answers for the other users. When we say about the answers, don't believe what the chatbot writes you. My experience of the ChatGPT is following. The ChatGPT is very good at lying. It can sell you a lie in such way that you think it's true. But you have to be careful. You don't have to be expert in the domain to validate the answer of the ChatGPT, but you have to check it. Remember, where are the data taken from? I have told you, the ChatGPT is trained with the amount of internet data. And as you know, in internet, you can find everything. And this, what you find there, must not be correct. The chatbot used the context. So in this field comes the new description of, I won't say the job, but of the activity. It's called prompt engineering. Please learn prompt engineering, because the more detailed description you give, the better answer you get. It was the example with the headache. For the Google, you write, I have the headache. For the ChatGPT, you describe the whole situation and hope for the good answer. Sometimes the answer you get is not the best one, so you can try to get another answer. Recreate answer, there is a button. This is sometimes your best friend. And remember that this model is still trained on the user inputs. So don't forget to give the feedback about it. Yeah. Now, I want to show you some history from the past. It was the year 1894, where the Times of London report that in 50 years, every street in London will be buried under 9 feet of manure. Such was the number of the horses. The same was predicted in the New York Times, but in the New York they have told we need 30 years. But as we know, this crisis has never happened. Instead of this, technology happened and the crisis evaporated. We've got the cars. So, why am I mentioning this? What was the horse nature with the AI together? Yeah, we can draw some analogies. First, this crisis occurred during the rise of the automobile, which presented a new mode of transportation and posed a challenge to the prevalent life of the horses. Similarly, AI represents a paradigm shift in how we approach the various tasks and industries, potentially disrupting the traditional methods and raising concerns about job displacement. The horse transportation has been deeply integrated in society, and its decline required individuals and cities to adapt to new technologies. Similarly, the integration of AI in various domains requires organizations and individuals to navigate and adjust to a new technological landscape, redefining roles, skill requirements, and even societal norms. So, there is one more analogy. In the 19th or early 20th century, there were many regulators of car usage. Probably you know this picture. There is a car, and in the front of the car come the man with the red flag and yelling, "Beware, monster is coming. Save your children, hide your horses." This is also the situation of today. We have also many personals requiring walking with the red flag in front of the AI car. And the most prominent of them are surely Elon Musk and Bill Gates. Does it mean that we shouldn't be afraid of artificial intelligence? Not exactly. Really, there are many threats and many dangers in this field. For example, look what happens in China right now, where AI technology like the facial recognition or with like the data analysis are widely used to investigate people and score their behaviors. Some companies are talking about incorporating artificial intelligence methods in the human resources processes. For example, for pre-filtering of the candidates for the job. What is good to know, we really don't know what lies behind the AI decision. We can get the answer from AI, accept the candidate or reject the candidate. But what lies behind this decision? Why it has decided like this? Okay, we have some rules, but it's not all. What is really funny, even the creators of the ChatGPT don't know why it works the way it works. It just did some magic. They have trained the model, and one day it has produced them meaningful answers. The next point, very important in this field, are the ethical decisions. So, can we spare one life to save another? Or maybe can we spare a life to save another 5? How can AI decide it? Or what does it mean that artificial intelligence have decided? It cannot make any decisions. It plays based on the rules it was trained on. So now the question arises, who is responsible for the decision? I think this question will remain open for the long time. The next point, the AI can replace decision-making or problem-solving. It can do repetitive, boring tasks for you. But then the next question arises, what with the people doing these tasks? What with us, with the developers, with office workers, or even with the managers? AI is very good at managing it. Yeah, this is this job displacement problem. And this is a real concern in certain sectors and industries. And this is the problem which comes with every industrial revolution. Yes, the AI defined the industrial revolution for us. And be aware of one thing. While automation can lead to job losses in some areas, it has also the potential to transform existing jobs and create new ones. Please don't ask me which. Maybe these jobs exist already. I can give you an example. 25 years ago, it was the end of the 20th century. You could be a web developer. We had a web browser, Netscape Navigator, maybe some of you remember it. We have the first version of Internet Explorer. So you can be the web developer. But what would happen if you go for the street poll and ask the people what the web developer does? I think the people would have no idea. Web developer, It's something with the making of webs for the fishers, maybe. This is the same when you ask the people today what the prompt engineer makes. It can be in 10, 15 years that everyone knows what is the prompt engineer. But today, no idea. So, there is one cure for this. We had the era of continuous integration. We had the era of continuous development. And then we start the era of continuous learning, and learning both of hard and soft skills. Especially the expectations for soft skills are growing today. The creativity, the initiative, the resilience, and even the problem solving which can AI make for us. We have to learn about it. These are the skills required today, and these are the skills required in the future. So, in other words, we have to stay hungry and stay foolish, like Steve Jobs said. I remind you Steve Jobs in this place because in many ways the ChatGPT became the iPhone of the AI market today. Just like the iPhone revolutionized the smartphone industry, the ChatGPT has done the same to the realm of artificial intelligence, and this is the game changer of today. And like the iPhone, this is just the beginning. We are still observing the emerging new projects in the area of AI. Google Bard is one of the examples. Yesterday, on the Polish portal Spider's Web, I have also read about a Polish company which offers its own language model chatbot, optimized for the Polish specifica and for the Polish language. So there are also local solutions. And do you remember what happened after iPhone release? The myriad of companies bringing their own smartphones. Sony, Samsung, HTC, LG. Many of them don't provide the solution for the time now. But they brought their own solutions. And I think we are going through the same thing right now. And in the end, I can say, as we embrace the future, let us stay hungry, eager to explore the untapped potential of artificial intelligence and the myriad of possibilities it holds. And Let us stay foolish, unafraid to challenge the boundaries of what is deemed possible. So, thank you.